This week, we're recapping the Xbox Developer Direct. This is the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. I'm your host, Spencer. With me is a man whose wife sold him out, saying if Michael waits until the last weekend of March to do Luigi's Mansion, he will be so screwed because he is booked. It's my co-host, Mike. Mike, do you have a rebuttal?
I'm pretty sure I didn't say I would wait till the last week.
I think
I don't know.
if I remember correctly, the gist was, ask me the last week of March, and by then I'll have started it. But
Yeah,
but I,
maybe.
I could see you saying I will wait until the last weekend because we're very confident.
Yeah, I remember saying that. So the reason that I can't do that is because it's her birthday, and I would not have forgotten that.
Do you want to say that a couple more times, just to make sure it's clear?
I would not have forgotten my wife's birthday.
You're a good man.
In the intonation of Bill Clinton.
I saw that comment on the over on the YouTube channel, and
Yeah,
it made me burst out laughing. I was like,
I just want to be very clear that this isn't the only way my wife interacts with me. She's now getting to the point where she needs to call me out on a public forum.
Oh man, I just like it because it keeps me, educated on the situation, which is good. It's I think it's great that you guys interact and have conversations and stuff like that. But don't forget about me. Don't forget to include me.
Yeah,
it's important that I be included in on these conversations as well.
Because nothing bad has happened to me when you've gotten involved in an online conversation. That has certainly always worked out for me.
I don't know what you're referring to, but sure.
You actually not?
Is there something?
Well, the most recent I would say would be me calling out how overrated a certain 2010s football player is. And then you posting stats and then me just getting absolutely cooked.
That was that was good. That was really good. That one was
something.
That one was funny, and I feel terrible, but that was really funny because it's like, oh, these people don't understand that we're friends.
Yeah.
Like just one of those situations of like, oh, I'm just shit posting because you're my friend, and people were like, oh yeah, look at what the guy posted. Those are OBJ stats. It's like, what?
It's just I got to be honest with you, it was funny for me. Other than I had to turn Twitter notifications off just because it got inundating. But people will literally die for this guy that doesn't even know they exist. just to defend his mediocre stats.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't feel too bad about it. I felt that was more reflective of them than me. So
that's man. I will think about that every now and again of just just the gem that Twitter can be.
Yeah. It's certainly every time I want to get something off my chest about football on an internet forum, I certainly stop now.
You think twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to think about, I mean, I can't believe people were dying for OBJ, but
yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Everybody's got their fans.
Moral of the story is me, somebody who tries to not have a very public online presence, often finds themselves getting cooked online due
Mm-hmm.
to the carelessness of a friend, and that's okay. And so now I've got you and my wife to get me out there more.
We're doing our best.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Good. Um, let's talk about the games that you did play this past week because we know it wasn't Luigi's Mansion.
It wasn't. Absolutely not. I beat Spider-Man 2 last night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, indeed. That game's a big old hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. You betcha. I don't have
By
any
beat,
other.
I mean like just the main story. I'm gonna go through and 100% it.
That was going to be my question.
I think I'm at like 85 or 90% already. I have very little left to do.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Did you have you like looked at the actual trophy list yet?
Not in depth, no.
Cool. There's
Are there any annoying ones?
uh not that I can think of. There are like a few. If I remember correctly, there are a few that are like I don't know if you remember from the first Spider-Man where you needed to like find oh my god, what the fuck is Spider-Man's uncle's name?
Ben?
Uncle Ben.
Oh, find their grave.
Yeah, you have to like find Uncle Ben's grave and
Yeah, I think there was one like that in this one, right?
yeah, I think you had to
But don't
find
you need to go find like Miles's dad's grave or something?
yeah, I think so. And so there's like that, there's that, and then I think there's like one or two that are like cryptic is like a bit of an oversell where they just kind of like there's just a description and you kind of need to like go to that description if I remember
Mm,
correctly. And then there's one for running around the bases.
yeah.
And I saved that one for last because I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same thing. I did see that one. I haven't done it yet, so.
Yeah. That was like a nice like oh wow, and now I'm done. It like popped and I was like, wow, man, there it is.
So-
Great game though. Very, very
Oh my
good
god, it
game.
was so good. It was challenging. Like the boss fights were pretty hard.
Yeah, and I think you said it last time. Um, you kind of get hit with a bit of a boss rush at the end.
Yeah.
And so it's like pretty big fight after pretty big fight. And yeah, they definitely, they definitely take you a couple of tries, like
Hmm.
it's that they're the right amount of challenge, I would say.
Yeah, I
Like it
agree.
feels good.
I would say like the main annoying thing is the when the power when you press L3 and R3 at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't go back to your save state.
Right.
I think that was the most annoying thing. So it's like, okay, well, I pretty much know I need that to beat a boss at least once. So if I use one and then immediately die, I know I'm gonna have to die a couple of times before I can
Right.
get to that winning run. But yeah, no, it was really good. And I think the story was setting up good for Spider-Man 3. And I was thinking about it last night. I was like, man, I may have been beating this because like I loved the first Spider-Man game. I loved this one. Like I'll probably try to get through the rest of it really slowly just so I can like be in the world more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was like, man, now I have to wait for Spider-Man 3. And then I was like, man, that game might get announced this year.
Maybe.
Because Spider-Man 2 came out in 2022, right?
Yeah, but we got Wolverine.
Do we? Because have we seen anything from Wolverine in a while?
No, so if anything, I feel like we'll finally see, some confirmed stuff for that, but maybe not.
That was definitely my thought that we'd see Wolverine first, but like we haven't seen anything at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and I can't remember if the rumors about like a Venom game are if there's any like validity to that, if it ever like came out that like they were gonna make a Venom game,
Yeah.
or not. But yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be surprised to get some information about whatever's going to be next for the Spider-Man series. But yeah, very very good game, very very solid game. What else did you get up to?
Well, I was on the road all week, so pretty much just that. I got to see Justine play the new old Donkey Kong Country.
Nice,
That was a whole thing.
nice. That's fun.
Yeah, I think she's enjoying it.
You think?
I think.
I think that's all you can ask for with Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
I think I like it, but I'm not sure. And then you pick up Donkey Kong Country 2, and you're like, I do not like this. I do not like this at all.
I think she was telling me that in the one that just came out that like second player can come in at pretty much any time. And you don't need to have like a 2-player save and a 1-player save, which is nice
Yeah.
because like our Donkey Kong Country 3 game on Super Nintendo, like she'll basically just play with 2 controllers
Okay.
and work her way through.
Yeah.
And then when I can play, then I'll use one of the controllers, obviously.
Yeah, at that point, you'd almost just be better off just like, like swapping.
Just doing
Like,
a 1-player game and
yeah, and just kind of
yeah.
swapping the controller as, with whatever rules, stipulation, or whatever that you would want to come up with.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean that's like if you want to just keep playing it, it does the whole like pause and then pick up the controller to play as Kitty is like that would definitely get annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we deal with it.
You're very strong.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was
Well,
my week.
I uh I almost beat Metaphor. So
Yeah.
we almost had a you beat Spider-Man 2, I beat Metaphor, but the stars didn't align.
Dang.
Yeah. I'm very very close. I literally have the last fight to do. Um but I had to do a decent bit of grinding and it like didn't feel like the game like adequately set you up for that or like kind of revealed like hey, you might want to level up a little bit, like, that
Mm,
sort of thing. So, the best way to describe it is like think about like Pokemon, and I know it's been a minute since you've played, like a traditional like go through all day gyms, then go to the Pokemon League, right? But like think about how you can easily get from one gym to the next gym and it feels like you're just right in line with the levels that you need to be. Every now and again you might feel like, oh, I need to level up a little bit. And then you get to the Pokemon League and it's like, oh fuck. I got through Victory Road too fast. I now need to go back into Victory Road and get everybody up like 10 levels to actually be able
yeah.
to, and you kind of have like that moment. That's what this was a little bit. Thankfully there are like some really easy spots and like really good spots to kind of grind, but also it's it's much more satisfying if you're able to kind of do that as you go. But so that's one that's one negative I would tag tag it with. So it takes it from a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10, but still phenomenal, still amazing. The story is fantastic. So many like twists and just like amazing story beats and yeah, finally getting to like the culmination of it all. to the final fight. So I will probably finish that later today.
Very nice.
Yeah, very excited. And then Shelby and I were playing more A Link to the Past, and we're down to the final dungeon. Like we're at the point where we're gonna go fight Ganon. And that's also been just a blast. Like really, really, really solid game. Has me just so stoked to play more Zeldas.
2D Zeldas. They're goated.
Yeah, yeah. So if I remember correctly, I think Link's Awakening is the next one. So I've got to make sure that the old Super Game Boy will work and everything, but should. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's it. I think that's about it.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then, as is the case here of late, the timing of news events and stuff like that fall perfectly on days where we'd record or release an episode. So, much like we were almost a week delayed in talking about the Switch 2 stuff, though you and I talked about it technically the day after it all happened. Let's talk about the Xbox Developer Direct that happened over a week ago now at this point.
Yeah, when you texted me last night, I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Must not have been very good if this is the first time I'm hearing about it since it.
Yeah, I also felt like I didn't hear about it at all. Until suddenly Xbox was like, we have a developer direct. I was like, oh fuck. Like I didn't see like any of the like lead up stuff to it, you know? And then I forgot to watch it like day of. So I watched it last night. And I'm assuming you had a similar approach.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was pretty excited about what I was seeing for the most part. They showcased there was like 3 games that they were upfront about, you know, talking about, which were South by Midnight, Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33, and then Doom. So we knew we were getting updates from those, and then there was like a surprise or secret before the show started. And the first thing that they then ended up actually talking about during the direct was Ninja Gaiden 4 with a surprise Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which is like the definitive remaster, remake. What's the right term to use there?
Not sure.
I think remastered. I'm seeing graphically remastered.
Yeah, they're saying remaster.
So Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which dropped like day of the direct, and was available to play.
Not a whole lot of love for Ninja Gaiden 3.
Not a whole lot of love for Ninja Gaiden 3. No.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, this prompted me. I'm so happy you said that. This prompted me to go ahead and Google, you know, Ninja Gaiden and get an idea of like the history of the game and stuff like that, right? Like and you know, if you pull up the Wikipedia for Ninja Gaiden, it's very confusing. Like very, very confusing. So the first one released in 1988 for arcade and the NES, which is what a time. Then Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos, released in 1990. But also in 2008, Ninja Gaiden 2 released. Like unsure of
But not Ninja Gaiden 1.
no. There's Ninja Gaiden in 2004, Ninja Gaiden X in
Oh,
2004, Ninja Gaiden Black in 2005, which I would imagine is similar to Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, so
sure.
probably a remaster. Um, but is the Ninja Gaiden that released in 2004 the same one that released in 1988? Very, very just, and then the naming conventions. It's just very interesting. Had me very confused. Um, all culminating in the fourth game of the series releasing this year.
I so this played and I was like, oh yeah. What they say? It's been like 10 years since Ninja Gaiden 3 came out. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember playing Ninja Gaiden 3 on PS3. And I was like, wait a second, that doesn't line up. And then I realized that I played Ninja Gaiden 2 on PS3
hmm
and then had no idea that Ninja Gaiden 3 existed.
That was actually in watching this, I was like wondering that if this was a series that you had like dipped your toe, dabbled in, because from everything I understand, these games are like brutally hard. I feel like that's at least what they like seem to get tagged with.
Mm-hmm.
That's always at least been my perception of them. Um, and normally going hand in hand with that is my assumption that like it's a game that you would probably enjoy.
I
Cause,
remember really liking Ninja Gaiden 2.
mm-hmm. Okay,
I can't remember. I think that was a PlayStation Plus game a long time ago.
okay,
Um, so I remember it being fun. I was also a much better gamer when that came out. So oh, maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and see if it conjures up any feelings.
see if you still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
mean,
just
Ninja Gaiden 4 looks sick. Like, it's kind of cool that it's like a futuristic setting.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks really cool. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, definitely a nice little surprise.
Yeah.
For them to drop right out the jump. Because I think everything else at um, I think the other choices for the showcase were solid. Honestly, I didn't need to see Doom, but
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Like, but yeah, I think after they showed Ninja Gaiden, um, they got into South of Midnight,
Hell yeah.
and dude, that game looks so good. What
It
are your
feels like it's
thoughts?
going to be my it feels like it's going to be my game of the year.
Really? Wow.
I've been so stoked for this game. Like ever since we saw like the first like just the trailer, story
hmm
trailer, like when it was announced. And then last time we actually got some gameplay. I'm so stoked for this game.
this deep dive, yeah, this deep dive really just helped to drive that even further. I feel like for me as well, like just it just ratcheted up the excitement. Sometimes I feel like these events can like these events can be make or break, but it's a good thing no matter what because it kind of gets you to realize that it is something that you're actually excited for and like something that you'll enjoy, and then sometimes it can like help you realize, oh, okay, wait, this game may not be for me. And so I love these deep dives to like really break down, you know, every detail of a game, and this just kept hitting. Um,
Yeah.
I think the story and the whole concept of like um, utilizing like deep South folklore and stuff like that to help like navigate the story, and the entire art direction of the game is gorgeous. I love it so much. Um, I'm also extremely excited for this game.
And it comes out. We got a release date, right? April 8th.
We got a release date, April 8th, which I thought was very surprising. Like,
Yeah, that's coming up.
yeah, I mean, a criticism that I think you and I can levy towards Xbox has been that sometimes they'll just keep showing the same game over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
like Hellblade. Uh,
Yeah.
did not feel like we got to that point with this, and I'm assuming this is the last we're going to see of this game until it comes
Oh
out.
yeah, I'm sure.
So I feel like we saw a very satisfying amount, and we had a good timeline. The first time we saw this, I believe, was their summer showcase in 2023, and a year and a half later, it's going to be out. Roughly a year and a half. Perfect timeline. Got the excitement going. You showed it to us again, and it's like, oh yeah, don't forget about this game. I won't forget about it. Looks great. Can't wait for it. And then deep dive into it, and it's going to be out in less than 3 months. Perfect. Chef's kiss. No notes. Um, then let's see. After that was Clair Obscur Expedition 33. What were your thoughts on this?
Um, it's the right game for the right person.
I,
I don't know that it's anything I'm very interested in, but I think it's different.
I I was losing my mind.
Oh
I
yeah.
I think this looks so good. I
Well,
it
good
was
news. It's not exclusive.
it was it was blowing me away. I could not like contain my excitement. Um I just think it looks so sick. And
There's a lot of people very excited about this. Maybe I need to change my opinion.
I mean, I don't know if it also helps that like I'm playing Metaphor, which has like the turn-based, mechanics and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I don't know if that's like also helping me because I'm just like in that like mode right now. But also in general, I really like turn-based games, so I think it would have hit that part of my brain at the right angle, no matter what. But yeah, I mean, like,
It's very pretty looking.
it looks gorgeous. It has that like active battle system, where if you like if you time your button presses, do you deal double damage or triple damage or whatever, right? Depending on the attack. And then you can also, um, with timing, you can also negate or lessen the damage you receive, which, if you want to play a good game like that has like a good nostalgic feel, Sea of Stars is a great option.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this the whole like fantasy and everything like that they had working for it has allowed for some like really really beautiful shots, and the battling is kind of breathtaking, that it's going to be hard not to get distracted by all of the other stuff you could be looking at when you need to be focusing on pressing A at the right time. um but yeah, I think it looks really cool. And I saw, you said about how a lot of people seem to be really excited for it. They announced that like their special edition pre-orders already like sold out. Like they weren't expecting the demand for it that they
Wow.
are receiving. I guess also like they're realizing that they may not have enough physical copies um like accounted for, just with how much like there seems to be attention for it. This sold me on it completely. I'm super pumped for this game, and also a very like it's coming up. April 24th. It got a release date, so kind of also a really satisfying show from that point of view. You know, Ninja Gaiden 4 is going to be out this year. I think in the fall, but they did the like day of release for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Then we find out that in April, early April, South of Midnight's going to be out, and then a couple weeks after that, another game that they showcased is going to be out, and that's really satisfying from an event point of view. Like when you're watching these, it's very easy to like talk about all these amazing games, like the Game Awards, right? All those games that we get shown, and it's like, well, some of these don't even have a release date, so we may not actually see them or have them in our hands for 2 to 3 years. But the fact that these are like tangible dates that are like so close is extremely satisfying, and
Yeah,
I think helps make for a good show.
man, there are people saying game of the year dark horse.
I mean, I think to your point, South of Midnight should definitely garner a lot of attention. I really hope people are like willing, I guess. I don't know, because I get that it's not your um just prototypical game that people it's not your God of War, right, when
Hmm.
it comes to a story game, and it's not a Souls game, and it's not. But man, I really hope people like play that game, because it. I agree with you that can have a lot of potential, and yeah, I mean, Clair Obscur. Obviously, we don't know until it comes out, but it really seems like they're doing a lot of cool things with the systems within the game. Uh, like everything that they were talking about was just like, well, we love this aspect of a turn-based game, and um, you know, the fact that oh, we don't like to just play like every character one way, so you kind of have options with how you can like level up your characters and like put different skills in them. So they were talking about the one person can change stances, so it can take a more defensive approach, and you can kind of utilize it as a healer, but also you can just turn them into a glass cannon, so they have super low defense but can deal out massive damage. And it's like,
Hmm.
that's sick. That's sick that like uh I feel like oftentimes with a JRPG and stuff like that, you can't really uh you get the characters in your party that you get, and if you get more than the battle system allows for, right? So if you can only battle with 3 people at a time, but you have 6 people, right? Yeah, okay, you can interchange and you can do fights differently in that regard. But everybody who plays the game is playing with the same skill sets and stuff like that. The fact that you can kind of like manipulate that, while it seems like the party that you're going to be fighting as won't see much change from what I could tell. I think that's really cool, and will add like a nice layer of you know getting to have a different experience with the game. Also helps with like the replayability with these types of games, in my opinion, is when you can kind of alter you know the the way in which you play and deal with like certain battles and stuff. So also, the last thing that I want to say about it, I think the story concept is really cool. Um, the gist is that in the world that you're in, every year there's like a vision of a painter, and the painter paints a number, and everybody who's over that age dies, and every year the number gets lower and lower, and every year when the vision appears, they send out an expedition to try and kill this painter, to try and stop this event from happening. And that's the concept of the like mission that you're on. And I think that's just such a cool concept, cool idea. I can't wait to see how it like actually unfolds. So
Wait, that's in Clair Obscur.
yeah,
Have we seen this game before?
I think so. I can't
Okay,
remember
because
though.
that sounds very familiar.
Um, Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, I don't think this was the first time we've seen this game.
Okay, okay, that sounds very familiar, but I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean that's such a like I don't know. I think that's a really cool. I think unique. I don't know. I can't think of a game or piece of media that has done that. Though I'm sure there's stuff that's obviously very close. But yeah, I don't know. That alone had me like, okay, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Could not get past the main character looking like Robert Pattinson. Um, but yeah, I know I just spent a lot of time talking about that game, but man, I am really excited for it. It looks like it's gonna scratch the right itch for me.
Yeah. Sounds like it's right down your alley.
And when I finally get my hands on it, I'm not gonna stop talking about it, and I'm gonna convince you to finally play it, and it's gonna be glorious. And just getting you to play one of these games will make me happy. And then when you don't like it, it'll bring me crashing down.
It'll gut you. Yeah.
um, the last thing we saw, the last update that they did was Doom: The Dark Ages, and I kind of said it at the top. I didn't personally need to see it because it's Doom,
Yeah.
and I think that's perfectly fine. Um, we did get a release date for that though too, and that'll be coming out May 15th, which is again like very satisfying.
Hmm.
If there's one thing to take away from this direct that they did, it felt like they chose really, really like good and intentional games to like dive into, and I just have like such an appreciation for that and really love that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's the immediate future, right? I mean, other than Ninja Gaiden, but that was, I think, just supposed to kind of be a shock release kind of thing.
Yeah,
So obviously that's not going to come out in the first half of the year. But yeah, I mean, there's 3 great games coming out by mid-May. So
and a
plenty of,
remaster of one of the games.
yeah,
That's at least out for you to play to maybe start to hold you over until Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out at the end of the year.
right.
Like that's really satisfying. That's really like that's good work, to set this up and kind of drop the dominoes in that manner.
And if you're like me and have been slacking on your Xbox backlog, like you also have Indiana Jones,
Mm.
and that's coming out for PS5. It was only like a 3-month wait, right,
I think
or something like that.
I think it's coming out in March.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, Split Fiction comes out in March.
oh, that's right.
Not the point of this episode, but Joseph Fares announced that the game went gold, so
Very nice.
that's very exciting.
Yeah. So there's some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the other nice thing too, right? Is that like I love these events that Xbox does where they talk about. I don't think they ever talk about more than 5 games in these developer directs because this like the screen grab where they have the little thumbnails of each game and then normally like a surprise with like question marks all over it and stuff like that. I feel like is never cluttered. It's always like 4 to 5 games. They give each game 10 to 15 minutes to talk about everything about the game, and I just love it so much. And the great thing is that worst case, and this is a pathetic worst case. Worst case, all 4 or 5 games look phenomenal to you, and you're only adding 4 to 5 games to your list, to get around to. Whereas when Xbox does their like summer showcase, or you have like Summer Games Fest or a PlayStation Direct or whatever, sometimes you'll see 10 games that are like, oh, these all look good. I need to see more, obviously, but like they're on like kind of a short list to be added to the list. It's always really nice when you have these like deep dives and you can like make definitive calls on where a game falls for you. And I think this event was great.
Yeah, I agree. I'm honestly, I was sold at South of Midnight.
Yeah.
But I think there's a little bit of something for everybody here.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a really nice mix of games. But yeah, I agree. I think South of Midnight. I don't know. I'm really excited for that. Everything I was seeing about Clair Obscur, I was just like, what? This is incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for both of those. But like, Doom, if I get around to playing it, great. But just not a like a go-to series for me, right? Like
Yeah, I
it's
get that.
it's nice to see, it keep going, but like I'm good. And Ninja Gaiden, I've heard it's hard, so um I'm can't be bothered.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm probably gonna try Ninja Gaiden 2 or Gaiden 3 if I can get it on like Game Pass or
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Plus. See where that gets me. Because I'm excited by the prospect of Ninja Gaiden 4, but yeah, I don't need a game that's terribly hard at this point in my life.
Yeah. Anytime there's one of those games, I always think of you, but I do know that you've turned a corner in your gaming life. You're starting to
Yeah, I
put
don't have that kind of energy anymore.
yeah, you're starting to put these in your rear view. That fond memories of near controller breaks and maybe full blown controller breaks, but
I don't know that I've ever I don't know if I've ever broken a controller
never spiked a
intentionally.
controller.
I've spiked a controller.
Just never broken it.
No, and funny enough, I only ever did it with like on the floor spike. Like there have been plenty of times where I've like tossed a controller onto the couch,
Sure.
like just kind of like frisbeed it. Um, I think there's only been once with the original Xbox. Like right after I got that, I was playing a game on there and it pissed me off. And I was like sitting on the couch and I just kind of like two-hand dropped it, almost like a chest pass, kind of
Okay. All right.
onto the ground, and broke some of the plastic. But like I just took it apart, took the plastic out, put it back together, and it's fine. So
Well, either way, those days are in your past.
yeah, now I just get pissed off by like Spider-Man not swinging when I felt like he should have swung and completely killing my flow.
Like now this is all off. I have to go back to the northern part of the map and start this run all
Yeah,
over again.
yeah, it's got to look good.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on for the developer direct?
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, I think that does it then for this episode. As always, thank you all so much for listening. If you could leave us a rating or review wherever you do listen to the podcast, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can go over to our YouTube channel and let us know on this video in the comments section. You can let us know which game you're most excited for from the developer direct. And also, was there anything that maybe you were hoping would get shown that didn't get a segment? Other than that, if you can share the podcast with a friend, that would be greatly appreciated. And we will talk to you next week.